No.
The first thing that my therapist told me back when I got into therapy for the depression, the mindset that I had accepted and created,
Yeah.
they told me to change my diet. And they didn't try to put me on any pills, but they're like, "What are you eating? What are you drinking?" And it's like vodka
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tequila
Yeah.
and lots of beer. So you had a fun day that made you question your life, and of course I had one too yesterday. Like I go to work, and one of our yards is 30 minutes north. I get there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we forgot to call you. We need you to go like an hour and a half south to get the other truck." Like, oh okay. So I get halfway there and talk to the guy down there. He's like, "Go back and get the other truck." He's like, "I'm gonna drive that one so we can get more done." All right, makes sense. Whatever. So it's like 2 hours into the day before we get started, and then I go to pull out of the yard, and I saw it when I pulled in, but there's this guy that lives in the neighborhood that decided to park his SUV right next to the entrance of our driveway. And when I send you a picture of what I was hauling yesterday, I was like 150,000 pounds uh,
What?
going through Naples, Florida yesterday and back to Fort Myers. And I was like, I'm sure it was 150. I think that machine's 110,000 pounds by
Jeez.
itself. And then I had the trailer and the truck. It's like,
Wow.
and so, man, that was like how I kicked off yesterday. But it's like, oh no, I started off the day right because I had a great conversation. So, and I had a great workout. But at the end of the day, I still I left my house at 6:30 a.m. and I got back at what's like 8:45.
Yeah.
And I was just like, really, this is what we're doing now? It's like, yeah, but all right, I made good money yesterday, whatever. But still, it's like, ah,
Well, like yesterday, we're putting the gear on, and it's a hurry up and wait game. Unfortunately,
mm,
and I'm actually enjoying this one though because it's not my project. I'm
okay.
actually I'm I'm being led by another person. It's his airplane. It's his job. You know what I mean? I guess you could say he's the lead on it. But he'd come to me and say, "Hey, and what about this and what about that?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm just a peon right now. This is not my project. I will gladly give you advice on it, but I know you probably won't even act on it. So
Mm,
just point me in the direction what you need me, and if there's questions, no problems." Okay. So that was the conversation before, and then at the end, when I decided to really come in and do it, uh, he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this." I said, "Cool. We have everything." He goes, "Yep." I said, "Okay." I said, "You have to remember, when you hire me, there's two of us, so there's got to be plenty of work." You know, no, 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 we got it. I said, "Okay." I come to find out that yeah, everything is in, but it wasn't organized. You know, it's like, "Oh, I need this. Oh, it's over there. Why isn't it here? Oh, I need. Oh, I need this now. Oh, that's over there. Oh, I haven't pulled that out. Oh,
it's
I
not a
haven't did.
wrench either. It's not like something small. It's a component to a
It's a
plane.
component to a paint. Yeah, exactly. Well, and hold on though. Hold on though. Don't get me wrong. Now the old gear got taken out fucking in April,
Oh, jeez.
and the airplane has been sitting in a hangar now, fucking collecting and charging real estate. It's a lot of real estate that for 4 months, 3 months, it's just there. And I was like, well, fuck. Well, actually more than 4 months. We're in August. Oh yeah, 4 months. About right.
Okay.
Four or 5 months. And so now, like I don't know who took it off or whatever. I'm missing hardware. I'm missing this. I'm missing that. So I'm making a list of hardware, you know, but that's it. And then once I find things that I can't move on with, I go to him and I'm like, yo, I can't move on. I need this. I need this. I need this. And then he's like, all right. And that's it. That's okay. Like, dude, I leave Friday. You don't understand. If like yesterday, we only hung one side, hung, not fully installed, hung one side, the left side. The right side, we're missing a pin. There is a pin that came with the kit, but it's the wrong pin for what we need because this one doesn't have a grease fitting. The one that we need has a grease fitting.
Mm.
And I'm like, all right, so I guess this must be an older model. I looked in the book in the manuals, and yep, it's an older model. The new one has a grease fitting. They want it greased. I said, okay, we need this. Okay, where am I going to get it? I don't know. You know, I leave Friday, right? Okay. And then I moved on. And I was like, all right. So now today we're going to do the nose, and we're going. Oh, I can't completely finalize the left side because I'm missing a cotter pin.
Mm.
Cotter pin. I can't just use any cotter pin. I have to use a specific cotter pin. Um, so they had to get ordered. I don't know if it's coming or not. I don't know when it's coming. But I kept asking. So like I don't get stressed, but it kind of looks bad on me though, because I'm working on it and I have a decent reputation. I'm not the best mechanic in the world. I'm a fantastic problem solver. But
Mm.
when it's not my project, I don't overstep my boundaries. I respect them. But for some reason, I have a tendency to take charge. This time, I don't want to. I don't want to take the responsibility. I don't. I'm. I don't want to say it like this, but I'm giving him enough noose to hang himself because I keep telling him, dude, step up your game. Step up your
Mm.
game. It's not. But it's drizzling. Great day. What else can I tell you? That's about it. No, it's just this. I'm. I don't know how I feel, to be honest with you. I'm tired. I want to go home. I'm embracing the suck, I guess you could say it that way. I've been on the road now for quite some time. Time to just go back to uh I don't know what I want, dude. I just know that I have fun with what I do, but I'm not in love with it. And that aspect, I got a cool ass job though, man. I do. And I tell myself that every fucking day. There's not a lot of people who do what I do. Um, the ones that do, I have a good reputation. I try to do things right, but I'm not in love with it. I'm not in love with it. I don't know what I'm in love with. I want to go fishing. Let's go fishing, dude. Let's become professional fishermen. Ah,
Um, if you put me where fish are, I catch them.
you see? You see? That's not the point. That means that you just like uh
Well,
you're
I mean,
are you
if you have look, if you're in the right location with bait, like you're gonna catch fish. You're gonna catch fish. Period.
yeah.
So you just have to be able to set the hook and react. It's,
You know what's funny? I was I said that let's become professional fishermen in the sense of like that's my dream goal. That's what it's like when I say I've made it, that's it.
it's fishing all day.
Because a long time ago, one of my first mentors, um, you know, just a normal guy, made decent money, gave me some advice. And I'm like, what do you do for a living? He goes, oh, I'm a professional golfer. I'm like, golfer? I've never seen you on TV or anything. He goes, no, 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 no. I'm not known like that. I'm like, okay. So you make good money. He goes, oh, I make millions. And he did. He made millions of dollars a year. And I'm like, cool. So you get paid for playing golf? He goes, no, I get paid while I play golf. And I'm like, isn't that the same? He goes, no, I don't go out and play the sport that I love to get paid. I go out to play the sport that I love. That's it. I said, but you make money while you play. You said that. He goes, exactly. I make money. I've developed a system. I got that business that fucking pays me. Doesn't matter what I do. And I love to play golf. And I'm like, fuck, I got it. I understand. So, in other words, go out and find the magnetic connection to unlimited potential wealth and not stress about it. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the fishing. Do things that you want to do. It's possible.
It is. You know,
Possible.
it's interesting because you had somebody. How long ago was that?
Fuck, like 20. I was 20, 19,
Okay.
20.
So when I was 30, I think I was 33, might have been 32. That's the first time I experienced somebody that really had money. Um, because like when you grow up in certain places, you have a different aspect. Like, you think 100 grand a year is a lot of money, and
Mm-hmm.
then you meet people that are doing that a month.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I was transporting boats, is how I ended up in Florida. Um, one of the guys that I had met through that, he had a 34-foot regulator with, I want to say it was two 300s on the back of it. And I picked it up in Ohio. I would bring it down to Florida, uh, over to Cape Coral. And then he'd call again. He's like, hey, pick up my boat, take it to the Keys, drop it off at the boat ramp, take it back to Ohio. And I was just like, dude, like
That's money.
what are you doing? And so he he took me fishing one day. We went out grouper fishing and freaking talked to me a little bit, and he was cash flowing a lot of money a month, and he was just I just had never experienced anything like it. I was like, how like, and he's like, yeah, he's like I owned he owned a bunch of townhomes in Ohio, and he had just been building this portfolio over the years. I think he was might have been early 60s, late 50s. And he was just like, he's like, you're just getting started right now. He's like, just understand. He's like, you're not going to make any real money until you like 20 years. He's like, just keep on working at it. And I was like, that's not true. It's true. It takes so long to develop the skills and to build everything up and get the right business with the right system. And like you see the guys on the internet and they do it overnight. And it's like, oh, that's crazy. Like it doesn't work like that all the time. So I'm just like been chipping away at it forever. It feels like forever, but it hasn't been forever. Um,
While
and
you were, sorry, go ahead.
again, and just keeping in the it's not even hope. It's just knowing that I'll get there.
Well, let me, I'm gonna cut you off. The, while you were talking earlier, it reminded me of something. And remember, we talked about consistency. We talked about the compound interest of life, in itself. But nobody really talks about is preparation, right? So you can ask the world, you can ask the universe to give you monetary gains beyond measure, right? But if you're not prepared to to receive it, you won't know what to do with it, and it's gonna leave, it's gonna vanish. So there's many of us that have done a lot of sneaky shit. I mean, listen, do we all have something? But just to tell you, here's mine. All right. At one point in my life, I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go sell drugs." You know, I need to make some quick cash. I'm gonna go sell drugs. And the drugs that I fucking sold were not like, whatever it is that you think it is. I'm just gonna leave it there. But uh, it was still bad, but it wasn't really too frowned upon. So it was still bad. Um, and yeah, it was quick money, but come quick, lose quick.
Hmm.
You know, it's so it goes with anything and everything. If you're not prepared in life for that gift, it's going to get taken away. Literally. If you're um how many times, well, you don't have any kids. So I'm sure your nephews, brothers, or sisters, whatever, you'll probably relate to this somehow. So there's when you bring a gift home to a child and the child doesn't expect it and doesn't know what to do with it. It could be the best. Listen to me. You could give them a fucking gold plated socket set, right? Gold plated, fucking 24 karat gold. The sockets alone are $400 or $500. Now there's gold, right? And there's such a thick, it's gold plated, but it's such a thick layer that it's another 10 grand.
Hmm.
So you give that to a child, they'll be like, "Go, I got tools, right? What am I going to do with this thing?" And you're like, "Listen, you have to be careful with these because these are really rare, really rare. So I wanted to give them to you, Greg. What the fuck are you going to do with it? You can't really use it. You can't do anything. You don't. He's not prepared for it. That gift was actually for you. It was like you buying something you wanted, and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to give it to the kid. Just say, right? So when you're not prepared, you're not going to be fully able to enjoy the gifts of life. That's what I'm trying to get that. And at the same time, when you're not prepared and you're not enjoying the gifts of life, you become, I don't want to say it's like this, but it's true. I guess you lower your frequency, right? So we all hear things about vibrational frequencies. We everything resonates. Absolutely. You have a certain vibration to you that makes up you. I have my own, right? It's when those two vibes actually try to connect. Right now, we have a full connection. It's such a strong connection that you can be down, because we haven't even fucking spoken. We've spoken more in the last 2 days than we have in the last fucking 3, 4 years that we've known each other. You see what I'm saying? So, and we're getting to know each other, but we have a good vibe and we have a good connection that you're willing to spend your time with me. And I'm honored about it. Thank you. And I do the same thing. I try to give you as much as thing, which means that the universe is giving us the time. We're resonating, we're vibrating together. So when you vibe and you attract, because that's what you do, magnets, we are a magnetic field. We are magnets. We have this field around us, right? And we do attract things. The universe, everything, absolutely everything and anything has vibrations. Anything that's matter has vibrations. Anything, absolutely everything is a vibe. There's certain things that we are attracted to more. Sure, it depends. Other things that we're not, that we're repelled against, right? So, with that being said, in your mind, if you start focusing and preparing and increasing your vibe, preparing, you work out, you're going to the gym, so you're having a strong and healthy body, so you can have a healthy lifestyle, live longer, enjoy more. I was thinking about this the other day. The world really doesn't give a fuck if we die or not.
Hmm.
We're just a process. We're just here to exist. That's it. We're here to exist. So in this physical incantation of the world, the only way is either you can make it or you can experience it. What do I mean? You can either let it dictate what it wants for you or you dictate it for yourself. It gives you that option. Most people have such a low vibration, and it's known. I mean, the fucking government knows about this because corporations know about this because that's what they do with us. Listen, the 8 hour fucking normal fast food meal, right? So you go to McDonald's in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. So in the 8 hours, you're gonna eat fucking 3 fast foods. It's the American way. I got to go to work. I got to eat. I only get an hour for lunch. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. I don't want to fucking go home and cook. You're killing yourself. All the insides, all that garbage, garbage in, garbage out, right? Garbage in, garbage out. It goes with everything and anything possible. Now, also, focus on the fact that we're eating improperly. We are not fully correcting our educational levels. I mean, yeah, they're telling us you have to go to university. Great. I have no problem going to the university. Sure. What am I going to go university for? You
Right.
know, am I going to be a
Get in
doctor?
debt.
Am I going to be a doctor? Do I want to be a doctor? No. Do I want to be a dentist? No. I want to be an architect. That would be cool. But nah. So, you know what I mean? It's like whatever it could be, an engineer. Sure. You know, why not? But it wasn't for me. So I'm not going to go. And I have the option and it's paid for. You know, the military gives me fucking, free education. And on top of that, they'll pay me $1,000 a month. Listen to this. They'll pay me $1,000 a month to go to school. And I still don't do it because I value my time over $1,000. I value,
Yeah.
I've done it. I did it. I
I
did it
remember.
to teach the kids a lesson, and sure, I enjoyed the hell out of that $1,000. It actually helps out quite a bit, you know, but it's not what I want to do. So back into everything vibrational, resonance, attraction, and you have to be prepared. And it's the only way to prepare yourself. So if we're eating unhealthy, if we're eating all this shit, and I don't want to get too sidetracked because I have a tendency to see a lot of squirrels.
Yeah.
My mind goes 1,000 miles a minute, and I know it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I haven't had any coffee. I drink water in the morning. Uh, Especially I'm in the hotel room. If I was home, I'd be drinking my coffee.
Yeah.
But
That
I
preparation thing.
it
You know,
is.
when you're, I never thought about people eating fast food 3 times a day. That's like crazy to me.
But it's true.
Yeah, I just never thought about it. I worked with that mechanic for that week, and every day, at least he didn't eat breakfast, but every day he was spending $20 on lunch, and it was just like a bunch of Taco Bell and
Oh, yeah.
Wendy's, and McDonald's, and I was like, all right, cool. Like it's all right. I'll eat lunch with you, this week. It's not that big of a deal. But then, like, you just look at that habit over the the duration of a year, and then compound it over a lifetime. It's it, it's it's insane. Meanwhile, I grill chicken on Sunday, and or I'll make like a soup or something like that, chilies, anything that so we can relieve the pressure of cooking every single day of the week because we both work and when we work a lot of hours, and I don't feel like cooking every night, and
Hmm.
like who does? But if you want to have a little bit of control over the direction of what your future is going to look like, you have to take that extra step. It's not even really the extra step, it's the preparation on a weekend. It takes what, maybe 90 minutes to prepare food for 2 days. So it's really maybe 3 days. Food for 3 days. It's not that much of a time investment, and then it saves you a whole bunch of money in the future as well. And
Well,
like the
it's yeah,
the
but
gym,
you just cook a little extra, right? You cook a little extra that
yeah,
day.
it's literally I cook Sunday for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Uh,
Like that's the purpose of me cooking that, because it's going to relieve that pressure. Like that's all. It it's just a task. That's all. Well, then the whole gym thing, the healthy lifestyle, yeah, that's something that makes my life easier. It keeps me out of pain. Yeah. Regardless of how I look, this 42-year-old body is sore as crap. If it's worse if I don't maintain it than it is if I just sit around. Crazy.
Well, listen to
Everything
this.
hurts.
We oxidize. You know that, right? We do rust. And the best way to understand rust is, body rust is sit in the couch for 18 hours. It's possible. I know. I've done it. Sit on it and binge watch anything, right? Sit there for, dude, try to get up. You haven't done anything.
Stiff.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, it's crazy. And we do tend, listen, it's real. Who was the one who said this? A body in motion tends to stay in motion, something like that.
it's like Newton.
Newton's, right? Newton's law of physics. Body in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon by an external force. Um, well, the external force being that I am wrapped around in Morpheus's arms, and I don't, and it feels so comfortable and so good. It's, I think that rest is extremely important, but we tend to oversleep and overdo things, over rest because of the way that we treat our bodies, because we are not adequately um, educated. We have a thing. We have our whole lives, dude. It doesn't matter. You can tell a kid, um, you know, try to eat healthy, have fun, enjoy. What's the kid gonna do, dude? He'll eat anything that tastes great to him, and that's it. You know what I mean? You give them all the options. You give them the healthy shit. You give them the candy. You give them the hamburgers. You give them here. And in his mind, it'll be the same thing as it was in my mind. I don't know. I think I'll eat pizza. It's got vegetables. It's got bread. It's got cheese. It's got meats. Right? I'm gonna go with the pizza, or I could go with a burger because it's got lettuce, tomato, onions, cheese, bread. Uh, it's not that it's bad. It depends on how it's made or whatever it is, but once in a while, not all the time, not every day, not you know, they don't they don't specify. It's up to us to find out. It's up to us to know, hey, I can't eat this because it hurts me. Um, it's doing me a disservice. It's not really doing me any courtesy eating this, or it's not really nurturing me. It's just sustaining me. So what is this? So if I'm not getting the nutrients that I need, my body tends to be more tired. It wants to sleep. It wants to regenerate, because why? We regenerate when we sleep. We fix ourselves when we sleep. And if we're sleeping too much, it's because we're sick. Our body's telling us, dude, you got to get to bed. I got to fix you. That's what our body is doing. That's why people enter into fucking depressions and all this shit, and they're just laying in bed. Their body's telling them, dude, go rest. You need to rest. You need to depression, deep rest, deep
Look,
rest.
the first thing that my therapist told me back when I got into therapy for the depression, the mindset that I had accepted and created,
Yeah.
they told me to change my diet. And they didn't try to put me on any pills, but they're like, "What are you eating? What are you drinking?" And it's like vodka
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tequila and lots of beer,
Yeah.
and they're like, "All right, so
Yeah.
for every alcoholic drink that you have to drink 8 ounces of water." He's like, "I don't care if it's a shot or a beer. He's like, you need to start hydrating.
Okay.
And then he was like, I want you to have a very colorful diet. He is like, the more colorful, the better. He's like, do you eat fast food? I was like, it makes me feel like crap. I don't eat fast food. He's like, good. He's like, so you probably a meat eater. He's like, add some vegetables in there, start taking vitamins. And then like we started working through the process of me actually healing. And like the garbage in, garbage out, the diet was probably one of the biggest factors of, my overall health. Is, stop drinking 24/7, like washing everything down with a couple shots of Patron, and then my skin starts getting better. I stop getting as many white spots. Like this progressed like so quickly, and then it slowed down so crazily when we got everything dialed in and under control and stopped poisoning myself the way that I was. Yeah. So it's yeah, there's just so much to it. When the preparation, when we were going back at the very beginning of this conversation, and like, if you ask God for something and you're not prepared for it, think of that duration of time that it takes you to get to what you actually asked for. It's like, it's not happening. It's like, no, it's building the foundation. And it's like, we're not trying to, you ask for the mansion, but you want to build it on the sand without a foundation. It's not going to work out for you. You just can't keep it. And like all of I think, gosh, I wish I could remember who said it. You said, you ask for something, you have to prepare to eat shit sandwiches and love it, because you eating that crap over and over and over again is what's going to allow you to be able to develop the skills to get what you ask for. And like all of the crap over the years is like, my deal is like, I always want to be an asset to humanity, and I want to be able to do great things. I want to help others, and I don't want to be a liability. That's why I stay healthy. That's why I work out, because anybody that's not healthy is a drain on the system, and like everybody else has to pitch in and do it. But going back there, it's like I learned how to speak. I learned how to post. I learned how to make presentations. I learned how to edit videos. All these different things. I had no clue what I wanted to do when I went to college. Just like most of the people out there, I went there, I played football, I tore my groin, and I was like, yeah. I was like, so if I'm not going to play football, why am I here?
Why am I here?
And I dropped out. And I was like, yep, go find a job. And so I look at like family members that have very, very large college debts that they're going to be paying for until they die. I cut mine off at $7,000. I was like, nah, bro.
Hold on. I have a great scenario. I'm not going to name anybody. I'm not going to say who it is or what it is or anything like that, because but I know of a certain individual. I remember we had a conversation one time, and he's like, he was so happy that he was graduating from a prestigious university. And I was like, dude, you're 50 years old. What did you get your degree in? And he goes, it was something stupid, like, I don't know, something business related, I don't know. Something management business, I don't know, whatever. And I was like, aren't you a mechanic? He goes, yeah. Well, he has a technical field, right? He works in a technical field. And I was like, oh, okay. And I said, are you going to, he goes, yeah, of course. I already asked, and my boss and my company, and, they require me in order to get an ascension, and I had to get it. And I was like, cool. Can I ask you a question? How much are you getting? Are you going to get? Oh, it's considerable. I'll get an extra, whatever you said. It was like 10, 15 grand a year, which is not bad, you know? And I'm like, how long did it take you to get this? And he goes, well, I had to go back, and because he already had his bachelor, he had his associates. So whatever, it took him a year and a half. I guess you could say a year, right? And 2 years, I don't know. And I was like, so you spent 2 years and a half so you can get 10 grand? I said, you could have saved the 10,000, 500 bucks a month, you
Yeah,
know, you could have saved that money. He goes, yeah, but now, I'm doing more. I'm like, let me ask you a question. Do you know how to make 500 bucks? He goes, what do you mean? I said, I can show you how to make 500 bucks.
that's a valid question.
You know, I mean, you don't have to. And I said, and here's the one thing that really just, I said, you don't have to rely on anybody else but yourself for food, because right now you're relying on food, on the job that you have, on your employer, to make sure that you do just enough good work that you don't get fired, and you don't want to do overwork that you're not going to get paid for. So you're doing just enough to stay under that radar. So you're being extremely cautious because you don't want to lose everything you got. But when they say jump, you have to jump. When they say we want to give you a raise, but you have to go do this, okay, why not give me the fucking raise anyway?
Hmm.
Right? If you're considering giving me a raise, give me the fucking raise. Well, don't I deserve it? Don't I work for it? Don't I this? Why do you have to condition me to give me um a prize or something that I've earned? If you're giving me a raise, it's because I fucking earned it all this time. I'm starting to sidetrack. I apologize. But that was pretty much what we were talking about. And he the guy spent like fucking 50, 60 grand on this, you know, on this BS degree. And I'm not knocking him. On the contrary, he's got more balls than I do. At least that nigga's consistent. Fuck. It's at least he's consistent. Um, I can't do that, dude. We're all different, I guess.
You said you can't.
I guess if I had to, but
I was like, yeah, can't doesn't exist.
yeah, if I have to, of course I would.
All right.
I like my options, you know. I like my options. I like maybe that's
And you've
why I
already
do.
proven to yourself that you could do like the extra schooling and whatnot because you proved to your kids. So that whole camp thing, it's just not something that you didn't find the value in it. You're just like whatever.
There's no value. Yeah, I guess to each his own. You know what? After talking about it just now with you, I realize, and in my current mentality, I actually realize, you know what? It doesn't fucking matter. If it makes him happy, I'm happy for him. I shouldn't knock him. You know what? Disregard everything I just
Hey, I mean, that's the point of talking about things.
said. True.
Shift your perspective on it. So
Yeah.
because I mean
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of school because my own personal experiences at school, and like I didn't want to be there at all, and I went there for one purpose, and once that purpose had been removed, I had no desire to be there. Now, if I'd have
Hmm.
been somebody like my wife that actually had a goal that she wanted to accomplish, like she knew exactly what she wanted to do with her life, what career field she wanted to go into, I didn't have that. So I didn't have any goals. I didn't think I was going to be alive past 20. So I was just like, all right, well, like legit, when I turned 20, I was just like, oh, I guess I better figure out what I'm going to do because, yeah,
Wow.
start figuring it out. I think that's a really big piece of the puzzle too. Like when that's why I volunteer with the kids because I think it's so important for our young people to figure out what they want to do with their lives early because strangest secret, Earl Nightingale. I didn't listen to that book until I was what 30 probably 32.
Earl Nightingale, Strangest Secret in the World. Love that book.
Right. And so, if you don't have anything to aim at, a direction to go, how are you supposed to get there? Wonder why
Exactly.
I was just wandering through life, doing whatever I wanted. Honestly, quite frankly, was not a very good human being earlier in my life. I mean, I had a good foundation that was instilled by my parents, but I chose to ignore everything because I was so bitter and angry. So, like, finally getting out of that, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, all these values are still so important. Why did I not do these all these years? Oh, that's right. You were a piece of shit. Like you had to get back to it, but then like listening to that, it was like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like I don't have a goal.
Mhm.
Just wandering through life with no destination in sight. Well, what are you gonna get? Whatever the world gives you, and
Yes. Yeah.
that's it. You're not going to get what you want. You're going to get what's given to you. So yeah, just shifted it around, and life's a lot different.
Yes. Shift your mind, shift your perception of reality, and you will shift your reality. It's just that simple. That is true. That is true. Um, I know we were like here I am. I'm here at this hotel. Well, at this motel, Holiday Inn. What is that song? Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. There goes my mind. Two Live Crew. God damn.
Is that how old that is? Jeez.
That's how old that is. Two Live Crew. Yep. I think it was banned in the USA album. But anyway, when you shift, it might have been earlier, but whatever. Uh, shifting your mind. Uh, these things aren't taught, and the ones that do teach it, these things aren't taught commonly. The ones that do teach it are seen as crazy people, wackos. I know sometimes the way I talk, shit. Even my son the other day, at one time, he made a comment. He goes, "Dad, you sound like so and so," and I used to think that fucker was nuts, you know. And I looked at him and I was like, maybe he wasn't so crazy,
Mm.
you know, because I see things a lot clearer now and of why. And it's because of that. It's because of the preparation. It's because of the personal development. It's not just money. It's not just physical. It literally personal development has to start with the mind. Has to start with the mind. You know, um, that's what the secret is. The secret isn't uh like a fucking get rich quick formula. The secret is truly inside of us. And truly, like we already have it. We have the power to do anything we can. It's just a matter of activating it. That's it. It's just a matter of activating. Once you light that spark, let's say it's a stick of dynamite. You know, our minds, our souls, our creativity, our celestial beings that we have, dude, they'll give us anything and everything we want. We just have to be prepared for it. So why not? That isn't taught. We're taught to go to church and we're taught to look outside of ourselves for, oh, please, God, grant me. I'm not doubting any religions, whatever. I believe in God and there is the creator. I'm just saying the way that they teach us to pray is we're praying outwards. So please bring me this. Please, I am worthy to beg. Why the fuck am I begging you? I don't even beg at work. I don't even beg my wife for sex. Why the fuck am I? Well, maybe. Why are we begging? No, I am. I will, and I will conquer. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna learn this. I'm gonna be able to grow with this. It's all in me. Why grant? I'm asking others. I think that's one of my issues, that I can't rely on anybody else but myself, while society in itself has you relying on everybody else but yourself.
It's interesting you said that you're taught to beg for things from the Lord our God, and I was taught something different. I was taught to boldly go to the throne, to your Father, and get what's yours. And so it's a very different perspective when you look at it like that, because you're a parent. You always want your kids to have the best things. So if you, of course, you look at the God as your father, then he's going to want the same. He's going to want his kids to have the best things. And the only reason why we don't have it is because we don't ask for it.
But here's my question. God being almighty and all powerful, as religion, I'm not religious. I'm extremely I am extremely spiritual. I will turn about face on religion. I have. I will not do it on spirituality. No. The spirituality is completely there, and the way that religion was taught to me, and has everything to do about control.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
religious people are different than
yes.
Like Christianity is a religion, but faith is different, if that makes sense.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Yes, exactly. I mean, you're going to have aspects on both. You're going to have extremes on both aspects in pretty much in every, especially religion, in every aspect. But how the fuck did we get started on religion? So as far as God is concerned, God being almighty and so forth, dude, in his mind, here's what if I were God, if I were the creator of this universe, and I'm going to act upon as a father, right? I am a dad. All right. So I'm thinking of my children. If I knew that they could not get hurt, I would never, ever, 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 ever intervene with anything and everything that they do. Right? And what is the worst thing that could happen to us here physically? We could die. But is that really the worst thing? No. So the worst thing is actually forgetting who you are, where you're going, and what your purpose is. That's the worst thing. And the only way to know this is to completely disregard the signs, disregard. He can't talk to us. He can't tell us. He can't force us to do anything. He can show us the ways. He can create boundaries, right? Wall, I can't pass this wall. I can't go in there. Create boundaries, right? But I know that if I break the window, I can go in. You can't stop me from doing anything. That's what I think, and that's how I would act. I would literally, if I'm the sole supreme, the creator of this universe, and I know that my creatures, my kids, I want them with me. Go live your life. Go have your experiences. Go, do your best. Throughout the ways, I will throw you little bones of guidance, and it's up to you to fucking do it. If you didn't, then you won't learn whatever it is that you needed to learn. And if you do it, then great. But it's not going to be a factor whether you're going to come here or not, whether you're going to be with me or not. Gotcha. If you haven't learned your lesson, it's okay. We got plenty of time. Go back and do it again. I don't know. Nobody really knows. But I like the fact. I think about that quite a bit. What time is it? All right, we got 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I remember when we were first talking about this. I was like, yeah, 30 minutes in the morning, real quick. And
Well,
then he's like looking at the clock. We're like 20 minutes over. And he's like, oh, we still got 10 minutes.
no, but I think I will. Go ahead. Give me a quote of the day and end the conversation. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
A quote of the day to end the conversation.
Yeah. Give me a good quote. Give me something.
Oh, I know we were talking about something the other day, and I tend to reflect on our conversations for a bit. And you had this scenario with the suitcase where you're like, somebody that's, but we got to the point where like one person was doing something with excellence and one person's doing something with mediocrity. It was like, I got it done. That's where it's at. And I was just like, man, I should have said it on, like, it like pissed me off because I didn't say it. It was like, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I think that's one of the biggest things that people, if they just took that into account and how they operated through their day, the world would change.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Correct. And I've heard it for years and years and years. And, that's one of the things that I look at, like, even last night, I got home, it was late, and I was like, I told Nestor I was going to send this to him when I get home. It was like, all right. So I sit down, I get on the computer, not happy with the product, start working on it, and then all of a sudden it's 10 o'clock at night. I haven't even showered yet. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, but I told somebody that I was going to do this, so I have to do it. How you do anything is how you do everything. You can't just be flaky. Like, if you want to put something out, it has to be the best that you can possibly produce at your current level. So I felt like I could have made it better, and I was like, I'm not going to put it out. But I did find out some other stuff that I'll tell you. Like, that's pretty cool. I sent you a screenshot. But yeah, that's the quote of the day. I think is how you do anything is how you do everything.
How you do everything. Thank you for that.